2023. Hello, good afternoon. Welcome to Midday Live from our New South Studio Seattle in Accra. My name is Noble Crosby-Annan. In the bulletin this afternoon, Ghanaians continue to pay tribute to former First Lady Theresa Mensa and former MP for Ningo Pram, Lady Mensa. Also in the bulletin, Abosokai Spare Parts Dealers Association give government a 2-week ultimatum to halt the deployment of GRA compliance and the vigilance task force to their shops. For some business news this afternoon, as drop in Ghana's import attributed to smuggling of general goods into the country, leading to collapse of legitimate businesses. We'll bring you some international news as Nobel Prize for Medicine goes to scientists behind mRNA COVID-19 vaccines. You're welcome to the program. We're live also on all our social media platforms at TV3 Ghana Plus on DSTV channel 279. This afternoon, the Abosokai Spare Parts Dealers Association has given government a 2-week ultimatum to hold the deployment of GRA compliance and invigilation task force to their shops. The association say they will have no option than to hit the streets if their concerns are not addressed. Shops were closed for 2 hours on Monday to send a strong signal to government. Joining us is my colleague George Quaining from the Spare Parts Hub here in Accra. George, good afternoon to you. Thank you for joining us on the program. You've been there. Talk to us about the situation.
So the GRA intends to deploy some 3 officers to all these shops who are going to monitor activities of these traders. But this is traders described as forms of intimidation, harassment, and very disrespectful. For them, there are more things that GRA should do. For instance, levies and some taxes on importation. They want that scrapped, and also they want the tax policy to review to ensure that the tax net is widened for everyone to be roped in, to ensure we get the appropriate or adequate revenue that we seek to generate to develop the country. And so they're giving government some 2 weeks ultimatum to reverse this very decision. Else they have no option than to hit the streets, and that will be at the GRA headquarters, the Finance Ministry, and Parliament House.
Right. We understand that the shops were closed for about 2 hours this morning. How crucial were those 2 hours to people who work within those enclaves and for spare parts dealers themselves?
If I heard you right, I've also spoken to some traders here who feel that it's not that they're not willing to pay the tax. Of course, taxes are what are used to develop as a nation. And so this very exercise by GRA is only going to cripple their businesses. They should rather concentrate on widening the tax net to get more people paying. That's what they're saying.
Right. What I'm seeking to get from you is the impact of the 2 hours that these shop dealers close their shops in the morning.
Here at Abosokai, it's one of the largest spare parts hubs in the capital, and we have about 15,000 shops here. And so for 2 hours, the shops were closed down and protest of whatever the contents are. So right now, the shops have been open. So there was just a signal that was sent. Then government is like, yes, that's what we can do. And so if our concerns are not met, we can do more than that. And so it was closed for 2 hours, and now the shops have been open.
George, thank you so much. Stay with us here on TV3 in our subsequent bulletins for more of the happenings concerning the Abosokai spare parts dealers and their protest against the GRA's latest directive to some of the shops in that enclave. To some other subjects this afternoon, 2 years after the devastating floods that washed away homes in Keta, Anglo and Ketu South areas, government is yet to commence the sea defense project to prevent the severe flooding. The opposition, the NDC, has accused the government of being insensitive to the plight of the people there, cautioning that a 2024 budget without provisions in a sea defense project for the affected areas will be resisted. Kamala Kluche has more in this report.
The Atlantic Ocean came biting once more. Tidal waves hitting communities in the Anglo, Keta and the Ketu South areas have become an annual occurrence. The situation has so far caused most of the residents to salvage some of their belongings, with many washed away. There are calls for the people to relocate to higher grounds.
There is nowhere we can relocate to. If we want to relocate, then we should be heading towards Adaklu area there. That is the only place that we can get a land to settle on.
My colleagues had come. They thought it was political, so the minister had to come. And before then, I had to file a question in Parliament. What the minister came to tell us was an assurance of the continuation of the phase 2 of the defense project. And it's 2023. I haven't seen the minister. I haven't seen the work being done. I have not even heard from them.
A distress call came in once more for help from the NDC flag bearer, John Mahama.
Dr. Baumia was here to campaign for people to vote for him. He never bothered to step foot here to see the devastation the people are going through. I am sure some of the people who he's expecting to vote for him during their internal primaries are affected by this.
Yes.
Yes. How callous can you be that you are so desperate for people's vote, but you care very little about their livelihood?
The NDC leader dispatched a team of minority MPs to the aid of the affected residents with items to alleviate their plight. From rice, oil, mattresses and other food items, the opposition party says government is insensitive.
Our elders in Anglo-land, speak out. When President Akufo-Addo comes here and speak nicely to you, don't just listen to them and clap. Speak out. Your land is going into the sea. And I can tell you there's a solution to this at the right time. I don't see them doing much about this. We are going to see the budget read sometime next month. The president should make sure that when his finance minister comes to parliament, they better come with some good news about the Kitasi defense. Yeah. Otherwise, they're going to see a block protest against the budget, no matter what it is.
The entourage also called on Awomefia Togbisri, the second, urging him to speak up on the floods. Earlier, John Mahama also donated some 200 bags of cement to the Dabala EP Church to aid in the construction of a church auditorium upon a request from the church.
Well, still with the opposition, the NDC and the Eastern Regional Branch of the National Democratic Congress has called on the Inspector General of Police to beef up security at the district office of the Electoral Commission in the Upper West Achim area. The NDC is accusing the New Patriotic Party constituency chairman, Nana Adeyu-Bobi, of causing mayhem and intimidating EC's officials by leading some thugs to fire gunshots. It warned that the NDC cannot be intimidated by the NPP and its surrogates in the region. The limited voter registration exercise is scheduled to end across the country on Monday, October 2. Let's speak to Jamal Kone, the regional secretary of the NDC. But in the meantime, my colleague Yvonne Nikwe, Eastern Regional Correspondent, is joining us to offer some more perspectives and updates. Yvonne, good afternoon to you. Thank you so much for joining us. What is happening in the Eastern region concerning the limited registration exercise between the NDC and the NPP? Yvonne, if you can hear me, what I'm asking for is some more updates on the developments in the Eastern region, the limited registration exercise, and the conversation between the NPP and the NDC. We'll reconnect with Yvonne Nikwe shortly, but let's take a listen to what the General Secretary of the NDC in the area has for us. We've been joined online by Jamal Kone. Jamal, good afternoon. Thank you for joining us on the program.
My brother, how are you?
I do very well, thank you. How are you too? But talk to us about the situation in the Eastern region. What is happening there?
Yeah, thank you very much, and I'm not grateful. Greetings to your listeners and your viewers. Yesterday, around 1 p.m., NPP constituency chairman by name One Nana Ode, popularly known as is it Moscow or something, stormed the registration center with some hooligans and land guards, giving warning shots, vandalizing the whole place, and then intimidating the EC officials. So they ended up bringing the registration process to a halt, and they couldn't even print end of their report because they actually, did not come back to continue the program. We released this statement because we believe in the Ghana police and we believe in the democratic process. We believe in peace and want the whole world to understand that if something happens in Upper West Achim, they should rather blame the NPP for it. The information we gathered yesterday, the guys who stormed there, apart from the land guards, some of the guys are coming from are members of the Ochuman tax force, and that is why in our release we asked the Ochuman Osarifo Amotio for Ipani to talk to his men. Probably he may not be aware that some unscrupulous guys are using his men for illegal political activities.
Right.
So we are drawing his attention to it that he should call his men to order, because as stated in the release, we wouldn't allow ourselves to be intimidated, and we want to assure the NPP that if this is the line they want to go, we can equally give them same measure. But because we believe in the democratic process and we believe in the peace and tranquility that we have all enjoyed in the country, we want to first of all give out the caution first. If the police did not heed to us, if the NPP do not heed to our advice, we wouldn't allow our men to be intimidated or to be injured. After that, we wouldn't buy into that.
Jamal, thank you. Jamal Kone is the Regional Secretary of the NDC in the Eastern Region there, speaking with us. We still have on the phone lines Yvonne Nikwe, Eastern Regional Correspondent, to paint a more detailed picture of the happenings there. Also talk to us about the last day of the exercise, what has been going on in the region. Yvonne, good afternoon. Thank you for joining us on the program. The last day of the limited registration exercise. First of all, how has the participation been in the region generally? And on the last day, what are we looking at? We'll reconnect with Yvonne Nikwe shortly. They're bringing us updates on the happenings in the Eastern region as the limited voter registration exercise comes to an end today. Let's now take you to the Ashanti region, trying to get a more broader national perspective on the ending of the limited voters registration exercise. Ibrahim, good afternoon. Thank you for joining us. How is the Ashanti region doing on the last day of the limited voter registration exercise? Unfortunately, we have not been able to reach Ibrahim Abubakar, Ashanti Regional Correspondent there, but we'll reconnect with him as well as some other parts of the country on the bulletin. This is Midday Live on TV3. My name is Noble Crossviano, also live on all our social media platforms at TV3 Ghana. Away from that to some rather unfortunate stories this afternoon, and following the demise of former First Lady Theresa Mensa, social media has been inundated with condolences and tributes. Theresa Mensa passed away on Sunday, October 1, 2023, just 24 days to her 88th birthday. October 25, 1935, in Wenchi, Theresa Mensa was the last child of her parents and the sister of the late J.H. Mensa, a prominent politician and economist. Her educational journey began at the Catholic convent Ola at Keta in the Volta region. She pursued her nursing career in London, where she was trained as a registered general nurse in the Southern Hospital Group of Nursing, Edinburgh, Scotland. She proceeded to the Radcliffe Infirmary, Oxford and Paddington General Hospital, London, where she became a state-certified midwife. She dedicated herself to the field of healthcare, working as a nurse and a midwife in various hospitals both in the United Kingdom and in Ghana. She worked at the Kolebu Teaching Hospital as a nursing officer. In 1962, she got married to John Ejikunkufo and they subsequently had 5 children. She maintained a low profile in the political arena as the First Lady, but was actively engaged in social and humanitarian causes. In 2002, Theresa Kufo founded the Mother and Child Community Development Foundation, a non-governmental organization dedicated to preventing mother-to-child transmission of HIV/AIDS and empowering women and children in rural communities. She also championed the implementation of the free compulsory universal basic education program for kindergarten children as part of government's educational reforms in 2007. The former First Lady received recognition and honors for her dedication to humanity and the Catholic Church. In 2007, Pope Benedict XVI bestowed upon her the Papal Award Dam of St. Gregory the Great for her commitment to the welfare of poor children and their mothers. She passed away on October 1, and there's been lots of tributes on social media from political leaders, public figures, and ordinary citizens. Well, President Akufo-Addo has joined Ghanaians to eulogize the late former First Lady of the Republic of Ghana, Theresa Kufo. Not only the former president, some other stalwarts within the NPP, as well as some politicians, have also been sharing fond memories of the former First Lady. Let's see some of these statements on social media. The president, from his tribute to the former First Lady, says, "I am very saddened by the just announced news of the death of Mrs. Theresa Kufo, our nation's former First Lady and the wife of the second President of the Fourth Republic, His Excellency John Ejikunkufo. Her passing reminds me keenly of human mortality, that is that Almighty God will come for each and every one of us at the appropriate time." Some more tributes keep pouring in. Let's see some others. This is coming from Gabi Asaro Tridako, and he says, "A devoted wife of over 60 years. She served her husband, her children, her family, and her nation with love, devotion, dignity, and distinction. My deepest condolences to President Kufo, the children, and the entire family. May they be comforted by her life and the grace with which she lived, and may she now rest peacefully in his bosom. Rest in peace, First Lady Theresa Kufo." Another tribute from Gabi Otridako. Now, the chairman of the NPP, Stephen Ntim, also says, "On behalf of the NPP and myself, I convey our heartfelt condolences to former President J. Kufo on the passing of his spouse, Mrs. Theresa Kufo. May the soul of the former First Lady rest in peace." We'll take a look at some other tributes pouring in for the former First Lady, Theresa Kufo, who unfortunately passed yesterday, Sunday. We've heard from President Nana Addo Akufo-Addo, as well as Gabi Asaro Tridako. We've also heard from the national chairman of the NPP, Stephen Ntim. A lot of tributes are pouring in for the former First Lady. We're bringing you more on that in the subsequent bulletins. But let's move away to some other subjects. Still, also unfortunate news this time. The former Member of Parliament for the Ningo Pram constituency and Council of State member Lady Mensa has died at the age of 77. He died in South Africa last night after battling with ill health. Here is a profile of the late statesman. Honorable Enoch Tai Mensa was born in May 1946 in Koforidua in the Eastern region. He worked in various capacities as a public servant and a politician. As a politician, he was the PNDC Metropolitan Secretary for Accra, now Mayor of Accra, for 10 years, from 1982 to 1992. In 1992, when the country was ushered into democratic governance, Lady Mensa became the Deputy PNDC Secretary for Youth and Sports. By dint of hard work, dedication and valor, he was promoted to Substantive Minister of Youth and Sports in April 1993 till January 6, 2001. He introduced professional football and the Premier League. He was a founding member, national youth organizer, and vice chairman of the National Democratic Congress (NDC) for many years. He founded TAIN and was the MP for Ningo Pram constituency for 5 consecutive times, thus 20 years, Minister of Employment and Social Welfare, and also acted as Minister of Education and Agriculture. He served as a member of government task force to oversee the implementation of the President's priority projects at the office of the President. Well, the country has lost 2 of its leaders there. We're still staying on this subject, particularly on that of Theresa Mensa, as flag bearer hopeful of the new Patriotic Party. Dr. Friakuta suspended his final lap of the regional campaign following the death of the former First Lady, Theresa Mensa. Let's get in touch with my colleague, Ibrahim Abubakar from the Ashanti region to tell us more about this development. Ibrahim, good afternoon. Thank you so much for joining us on the program. When I stand, Dr. Friakuta has suspended his campaign in the Ashanti region. Talk to us about it.
Well, indeed, he was supposed to begin the final lap of his campaign ahead of the November 4 general election. In fact, he was supposed to start in Ashanti region today. Then from in 4 days' time, he moves to other regions. Then he will wrap up in 2 weeks' time. But he said because of the sudden death of the former First Lady Theresa Mensa, upon consultation, they have to suspend the campaign indefinitely. Maybe from tomorrow next, they will begin to look at the next line of action. This is to show respect to their beloved mother, who has been a mother to him, that's what he said, for a long time before her demise. So for now, he has suspended all campaign activities until further notice.
Right, so that is on Dr. Akoto suspending his campaign in the Ashanti region. But still in the Ashanti region, today, the last day of the limited voter registration exercise. Paint a picture to us how the situation is like in the region, the last day of the exercise, and how it has been since it began.
Well, Crosby, today the number keeps swelling. A number of them, in fact, since day one, I've never seen this number, huge numbers, coming to the regional EC office to register. In fact, from day one, well, most of them have been coming, but the challenge has always been a network challenge, delaying the process. So in some days, they will be able to register, some centers will register 200, 250. Other days, they will even register less than 100 of them. And because the EC has officially announced that it is not going to extend the process, it's become frustrated for most of the applicants here. I'll engage them briefly, even though the EC has taken another step by providing this shade for them. You know, beginning they were under the scorching sun, but today the number keeps swelling. Let me engage with them. Good afternoon, you are live on TV3.
Good afternoon.
As an applicant, where you are standing now, are you sure you'll be able to register? And how has the frustration been like since morning?
Oh, I arrived around 6 a.m. and it's afternoon. I'm still here, and it's very frustrating. There's a long queue. I don't think I'll be able to register today.
And what delayed you? It was 20 days. Today is the last day. Why did you come today?
You know, I completed the check this year, and you know, we just completed. That's why I didn't get time to come in and register for the card.
In an event you are unable to register by the close of the day, how would the feeling be like, and what message do you have for the authority?
Oh, I suggest that they should extend the period so that we all can register. And if I'm not able to register, no, I'll feel sad because I will not be able to vote next year.
Okay, kindly come. Let me also engage one other person. Good day, you are live on TV3. Why did you decide to wait until the last day before coming?
Oh, I was at home. I didn't know anything about it. So my mom just called and said I should come. So I had to come.
For the past 19 days, we were not aware they were registered.
No.
So in an event you are unable to register today, what will be next for you?
I think I have to wait because I came here around 9 and now it's 4:24. So I think I have to wait for next one. When it's ready, then I come back.
Okay, thank you. So, Crosby, like I said, the number keeps swelling. A lot more of them are even outside waiting for those sitting on the chair to make way for them to be able to also have join the queue. So we don't know. Possibly, maybe there will be an extension because most of them were saying even though the AC has planned that from tomorrow they will begin with the transfer, if they are able to merge it, because not many people will take part in the transfer exercise. So at least if they extend it by 2 days or more, then this number of people will also be able to register and participate in the 2024 general elections.
Right, Ibrahim, thank you. But on the last day of the exercise in the Ashanti region, how's the speed like?
Well, it started on a good note. A lot more of them, when they started in the morning, it was moving faster. But moving towards the afternoon time, they are telling us that the machine is delaying again. So we don't know. Hopefully, they will do something about it and ensure that they will be able to process it faster so that at least they will register 80 to 90% of the people here. But, well, of course, they've made it aware that if you are in the queue and it's even 5 p.m., they will ensure that they attend to you before you go home.
Ibrahim, thank you so much. Ibrahim Obakar is Ashanti regional correspondent there. Away from that, the lack of a medical doctor and other essential healthcare providers continue to widen the healthcare gap in the North Gonja district of the Savannah region, whereas healthcare givers in the area have no option than to refer cases which they describe as worrying. Pregnant women and children continue to suffer the brunt of commuting several kilometers to Tolong, Damango and Tamale on daily basis. My colleague Christopher Mwako has more in this report.
The North Gonja district was carved out of the larger West Gonja municipality in June 2012. 11 years down the line, the district is yet to have a hospital. Health centers serve as referral facilities within the health zones. The lack of a medical doctor and other critical healthcare providers in the district is affecting healthcare.
2 months ago, when my child was not well, refer me to 4 good days at the hospital. Me and the child, plus my wife.
Patients who visit the health facilities are mostly referred to Tamale, Tolong, and Damango.
Because instances where you need emergency like CS or any intervention that a doctor could do, as such the midwife, we refer them to Tolong or West Gonja Hospital, which as we speak, the charges involved in using an ambulance is not something that we can underlook.
Ekuya Dokurugu is one of such patients who was referred to Tolong Hospital to undergo cesarean section when with had to be transported in a canoe across the White Volta.
We suffer a lot and spend a lot of money because there is no doctor in the hospital.
Where you are referring the client to the Mango West Hospital, the fuel sports wouldn't take 100 Ghana cedi to train the client. If it comes to Tolong, you are compelled to cross through the boat to get to the ambulance. And from here to Tolong, they take 400 Ghana cedi. But if the client is being referred from here straight to Tamale Teaching Hospital, they pay not less than 1,200 Ghana cedi.
For the residents, the Member of Parliament for Daboya Mankarago, who doubles as a Deputy Minister of Health, Alhaji Mahama Asay Seni, has not been proactive in getting a medical doctor to the area. But in a telephone interview, the MP, while admitting to the sufferings of people as a result of the lack of critical health staff, disagreed with their. He has not been proactive. He blamed the situation on the delay in the Daboya Health Center into a clinic and assured people he will help address the situation as soon as possible.
You're watching Midday Live on TV3. We're going for a break. We're back with more stories. Please stay with us.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to demonstrate to you the superior properties of Flamingo paint as compared to other paint brands on the market. We take equal quantities of Flamingo paint and this ordinary paint. We then dilute them with water. And now, let the test begin. The gentleman on the left is going to apply the ordinary paint, and the gentleman on my right will use the Flamingo superior paint. As you can clearly see, Flamingo has the obvious better hiding. Furthermore, Flamingo has painted a much larger area. You know, one bucket of Flamingo paint is equal to several buckets of any other paint brand on the market. Flamingo paint is made with superior formulation to give superior durability, superior hiding, superior coverage. Flamingo paint, simply superior.
The past 12 weeks of this year's Ghana's Most Beautiful competition, contestants have been on a journey of sheer determination, showcasing great talent and the rich culture of our beautiful nation on the Ghana's Most Beautiful stage. 5 beautiful ladies, Na Ayele, the courageous one from the Greater Accra region, Aduanigi, the bold one from the Upper East region, Selom, the ambitious one from the Volta region, Kwatma, the determined one from the Bunu region, and Nura, the assertive one from the Northern region. Come 8th of October at the National Theatre, dreams will be realized and one of these exceptional ladies will be crowned Ghana's Most Beautiful 2023. Keep pushing your favorite contestants to win the most coveted crown, the cash and the car by voting to the short code *713 *13# on all mobile networks. You can also download the TV3 reality app on App Store or Play Store. It will be an amazing night of glitz and glamour. Grab your tickets for a cool 50 Ghana cedis and come support your favorite queen on the 8th of October at the National Theatre, 8 p.m. sharp. Ghana's Most Beautiful, Ghana's Beauty, Africa's Pride.
GMB 2023 is sponsored by Gino Tomato Mix, GTP, Techno Camon 20 Series, AT, Pepsodent Charcoal and Lemon Infused Formula and Pepsodent Natural Herbal Formula, Geisha Moringa and Geisha Black Soup, Key Soup, Bell Pack Tissues, Sankofa Natural Spices, Vitamilk, Deluxe Acrylic Paint, Nescofa Blood Tonic, Heaven Black Mosquito Spray and Coil, Enapa Foods, Freedom from Casapreco, Frutelli Calipo, Duffy's Health and Beauty, Obuasi Bitters, Nubna Womwankasa, Dragnet, Shalatem, Top Choco.
Save 500.
Global Wings Travel and Tour.
Makeup was done by House of Tara.
Mac Brown's Kitchen. Mac Brown's Kitchen.
I'm ready to send me to Mac Brown's Kitchen. New season, new stations. Hey, Mac Brown's Kitchen. Oh, Nana, what TV so I check. I knew who I check, but the Namiani ain't Chakrano. But TV3. Mimi Devia. 5 to 6 p.m. Nana Yabasha Wati. Minimum my Yabasha Sasako, Ghana Fodo. Nana, Mambra's Kitchen TV 1 year, Nana. There be Ominia. Yeah, you on your TV so. A minute, Nana. Yeah, you were TV 3 years. Now we'll show on your TV so. Now on your TV time, Ben. I am non see a copy non so pepe.
McBrown's Kitchen, premiering Saturday, October 7th at 5 p.m. on TV3.
The expert at anything was once a beginner.
I seek for unmatched work experience that will prepare me for the real job.
Internship can help you stand out in a competitive job market.
I want to be an intern in one of Ghana's most reputable companies.
In the heart of the corporate world, there's a search for the next top intern.
On this journey, some aspiring interns will get to embark on an unforgettable adventure.
These interns will face a series of real-world challenges and tasks.
For the next top intern on the Top Intern reality show, ambition meets determination. From the tasks to the boardroom, to alliances, and to winning. Who will be the ultimate top intern? Get ready for an epic internship showdown. To be part of this reality show, aspiring participants should have at least a second-class upper and above. Register now at forms.mg.com.gh/topintern. Who sweeps the top prize of an internship at a reputable company, cash prizes, and many more.
Are you the one?
For the top intern we're looking for, be you?
The Top Intern. Today's learners, tomorrow's leaders.
You're welcome back to the program. Let's bring you some more stories. And we're still mourning the demise of former First Lady Theresa Kufuor. Already social media has been inundated with condolences and tributes. Let's cross over to my colleague Duke Mensa-Opoku, who currently is at the former President John Agyekum Kufuor's residence here in the capital.
Because of the news of the passing of the matriarch of this household, the former First Lady, Madam Theresa Kufuor. The significance of this residence is that between January 2001 and January 2009, while Madam Kufuor was the First Lady of the Republic and by extension the mother of the nation, or the matriarch of the nation, the mother of the nation, a tagline or a title which she preferred to be called by rather than First Lady. This is where she lived because the husband, who's the President Kufuor, decided not to live at the castle, which then was the official residence of the president. We've been engaging some of her domestic staff and some of the neighbors in this neighborhood, the airport residential neighborhood, who share very fond memories of living next to the former First Lady, who is now late, and for her staff, how wonderful a personality she was, working with her, and how they will miss her as she's joined the heavenly choir, or the choir eternal, on the other side of the world. So it's an atmosphere of sadness, solemnity in this residence, which is not very functional anymore because the Kufuors have moved to another place, but it still holds its significance in Ghana's history because of the reasons that I've alluded to. We've seen tributes pouring from President Akufo-Addo, from former Greek minister, and very close, family friends with the Kufuors in Kumasi, that is Dr. Efriyo Usu-Akoto, and others who have been sharing their condolences with the Kufuor family. So it's very sad, very, very quiet and very solemn here at the Kufuor residence, here at Airport Residential area in Accra.
Right, Duke Mensa-Opoku, that's still with us here. In the subsequent bulletins, there'll be more on the passing of the former First Lady, her life and her legacy as well. You're watching Media Live. Business News is up next. Let's join Some business news. I mean, what's in the package this afternoon?
So, Bank of Ghana's Summary of Economic and Financial Data this year, the latest one, has revealed that there's been a decline in imports in the country, but experts are attributing that to increased smuggling.
Right.
We have the details coming up in our
Anyways, over to
bulletin.
you.
Thank you so much. Welcome again to the business segment. My name is Menu Afo. In our first story, the Food and Beverages Association of Ghana, FABAG, says the influx of smuggled goods into the country is collapsing legitimate businesses. The Bank of Ghana's Summary of Economic and Financial Reports indicates that Ghana's imports dropped by about 14.7% between August 2022 and August 2023. However, Executive Director of FABAG, John Awuni, believes that the reduction is as a result of smuggling that are not captured by customs.
Porters and traders have repeatedly lamented the high cost of doing business in Ghana due to high import duties and taxes, but their concerns have not received any attention from the government. According to the Food and Beverages Association of Ghana, businesses have resorted to smuggling their goods in order to remain profitable.
The London cost of sugar, for instance, is at the Tema port is like 550 cedis, and you still find sugar being sold in the Ghanaian market at the retail end about the same price. How possible can that be? If people still have to price the goods the way they are supposed to be priced, you will find out that legitimate businesses will collapse. Some of them have set up satellite offices in Togo, in Cote d'Ivoire, in Burkina Faso, and all that. And they get their Ghanaian clients to travel through the borders, through illegal routes, to go and then get these goods.
The association has called on the government to take advantage of the 2024 budget statement to reduce taxes and import duties to curb the situation.
In preparing for the 2024 budget in November, I would encourage the government to look at this. They must find a way of reducing the taxes. The tax regime is very, very punitive. You can't have over 50% tax on a particular, just a commodity, and expect that people will survive. Rents have increased, electricity has increased, water bills have increased, general utilities, and then all the school fees and all that have gone up. So people must find ways of survival. And this is the reason why smuggling is rearing its head.
We'll now take your attention to the results of the recently ended government treasury bill auction, because interest rates on government treasury bills have gone up to 32.85%, although the auction recorded an undersubscription of about 2.7%. At the end of the latest treasury auction, government secured about 2.49 billion cedis, although it targeted 2.57 billion cedis. All bids tendered were accepted, and a chunk of it came from the 91-day bill. Interest rates on the one-year bill shot up to 32.85% from 32.5% the previous week. That of the 182-day bill also went up from 30.67% to 30.92%, and yields on the 91-day bill soared by 0.29% to 28.5%. In more stories, CEO of the Association of Ghana Industries, AGI, Seth Chum Akwabwa, has urged industries to consider energy-efficient options to rake in more profits. According to him, energy-efficient options are the smartest ways of reducing operational costs while saving the environment. He admonished businesses to take advantage of AGI's energy efficiency network to become more competitive globally.
If you appreciate where we're coming from, which is the establishment of the AGI Energy Service Center, which basically is promoting the use of renewable energy and promoting energy efficiency among our companies. What it basically means is that you're more efficient in the usage of your energy to reduce energy costs. If you reduce energy costs, you reduce cost of production, and if you reduce cost of production, you become more competitive and capture a good share of the market. And the competitiveness is not just the local market, it's also the export market, both within Africa and beyond. So if you look at all this, then we have a very good objective to help promote made in Ghana products, both locally and abroad, using competitiveness as a yardstick.
And away from that, the Ghana Export Promotion Authority, GEPA, says it is working to make Ghana the 5th largest producer and processor of coconuts in the world. Ghana is already ranked 9th in the world with about 2.5% of global production. Speaking at the 3rd International Coconut Festival, CEO of GEPA, Dr. Efua Asabia Asari, stated, in line with this vision, her outfit has distributed 1 million disease-resistant seedlings to farmers across the country. We'll bring you the details of this story later. Now, the director of the Internal Audit Agency is calling for the National Development Planning Commission to be granted authority status. Dr. Erikojo Osai argues this, along with the passage of a national development law to regulate all of the country's development plans, is crucial for ensuring that Ghana can make significant advancements. He made these remarks while speaking to the media on the sidelines of the National Close-Out event of the Governance for Inclusive Development Program by GIZ.
When you look at the executive chapter under the Constitution, Chapter 8, all of them are in French.
And that's how we wrap up the business segment on Midday Live. My name is Menua Fo. Stay with us for more news right after the break.
Ladies and gentlemen, mark your calendars for the most spectacular event of the year. On Saturday, October 14, the Aviation Social Center transforms into a food lover's paradise as we proudly present the TV3 Schools Connect, Food Bazaar, and Kitchen Wars Grand Finale. It's not just a food festival, it's a party too. Which senior high school wins the basketball and five-a-side soccer tournament? It's a showdown like no other. And for all you nostalgia seekers, we've got the sweet sounds of old school music to transport you back in time. And now the big one, the grand finale of Kitchen Wars. Watch as the final four schools battle it out for culinary supremacy. Who will be crowned the champion of the kitchen? TV3 Schools Connect on Saturday, October 14 is the ultimate fusion of food, music, sports, and entertainment. So save the date, tell your friends, and get ready to savor the flavors. TV3 Schools Connect and Kitchen Wars Grand Finale, where food meets fun. Kitchen Wars, your school fit cook. The TV3 Schools Connect is sponsored by Gino, PGL, and Napa Foods.
Mike Brown's Kitchen. Mike Brown's Kitchen.
I'm ready to say me Mike Brown's Kitchen every new season, new stations. Hey, Mike Brown's Kitchen, oh. Na want TV so I check. I knew who ya check, but the Namia Yeni ain't Chakrano. But TV3, Mimi Devia, Anne, 5 to 6 p.m. Nana Yabasha Wati, Minimum Mayabasha Sasako, Ghana Fodo. Nana, Mam Brown's Kitchen TV2 1 year, Nana. There be Ominia, yeah, you on your TV so. Mimi Nana, yeah, you were TV3, yeah. Now we'll show on your TV so. Now on your TV time, Ben. I am no seeing coffee, no so pepe.
McBrown's Kitchen, premiering Saturday, October 7 at 5 p.m. on TV3.
Welcome back to the broadcast. Sport News is up next with Riku Ampofor. The GFA elections are still in the news?
Yeah, upon all the injunctions, the FA have confirmed that they'll still be going ahead with the elections later this week.
Anyways, bring us the details.
Well, we'll be heading into the elections much later. But before we do that, let's start with the Ghana Premier League, where Asante Kotoko are yet to grab their first win of the season as they were held to a 1-1 draw by Kerala United on Sunday at the Babayara Sports Stadium in Kumasi. Ivan Sadomako's strike was cancelled out by a late Baba Yahaya goal, and the coaches of both teams have been speaking after the game.
Waiting to have scored another goal in the second half.
which we faulted. You saw it. We nearly scored it, but we faulted. And that has given them the advantage to have equalized this goal.
If you look at the chances we mixed and the way we played right from the blast of the whistle to the end, especially in the second half, the chances we created, we mixed, that wasn't the result I was expecting.
Asante Kotoko definitely in deep trouble at the moment. Prosper Nateogum looking for solutions. We'll keep on bringing you more updates on the Ghana Premier League. But let's head to the GFA where they've temporarily moved their secretariat to Tamale as it begins preparations for the upcoming presidential elections to be held on Thursday, October 5, 2023. This year's GFA Extraordinary Congress will be held in Tamale, and as such, the Secretariat has been moved to the Northern Regional Capital to ensure that all facilities and logistics are in place for a successful Congress. This decision has been made despite an injunction from King Faisal and the Social Justice Forum on the upcoming elections. We'll do some more stories here, and let's go overseas because Arsenal midfielder Thomas Partey has returned to training ahead of Tuesday night UEFA Champions League Group B clash against RC Lens. The Ghana international hasn't featured for the Gunners since August as he suffered a groin injury on the eve of the home game against Manchester United. He subsequently missed the 3-1 win as well as fixtures against Everton, PSV Eindhoven, Tottenham Hotspur, Brentford and Bournemouth. He's hopeful for earning minutes in the Champions League and probably staking a claim for a place in the lineup against Manchester City during the weekend. Or will still stay in England because Chelsea head coach Mauricio Pochettino has asked for more time for his charges as they compete in the Premier League and other cup competitions. The Blues are currently 15th on the log and face Fulham tonight.
We have experience about to manage young guys, but of course that is a process, so we know very well. And what do you say? We need more experience, but that is about time. We need to provide the player playing in the Premier League the experience that they need, because it's a tough competition. I think it's the most tough competition in the world. And yes, I think we need time because I think we have talented players. But that is one of the points or the key point that we need time to, to.
Well, that's how we wrapping up the sports segment here on Midday Live. My name is Ore Kuampo. For up next on the bulletin is entertainment with Noella.
Welcome to the entertainment segment of the bulletin. Well, the first phase of the mentor editions are over, and Noella Donko will bring us the details on the talents that were identified. Noella, over to you.
Thank you so much, Crosby. But before we get into mentor, Tamale SHS and Holy Child SHS have bagged the final 2 spots in the grand finale of TV3's Kitchen Wars Season 2. Now, so the second phase of the semi-final was over the weekend. 4 schools will battle it out at the grand finale come October 14th, 2023.
It's been weeks of culinary hostilities between the various alumni groups in Ghana on TV3's Kitchen Wars. Season 2 of the cooking experience has been an exciting one as alumni groups strive for bragging rights. 4 schools, Accra Academy, Tamale SHS, Holy Child and Ola Girls took a stand at the kitchen this week to display culinary prowess in a quest to advance to the final stage of the competition. In the end, Tamale Senior High School and Holy Child SHS were on top of their game as they secured a golden ticket for the final stage of the country's biggest cooking competition, Kitchen Wars.
Welcome to the grand finale of Kitchen Wars Season 2 with 264 points. Give it up for Tamale SHS! Tamale SHS!
Come cheer your schools on, chant Jama, play games and relive memories from back in the day at the Aviation Social Center on Saturday, October 14, 2023.
The Aviation Social Center is definitely the place to be on October 14th. Make sure you come through. It's going to be a lot of fun. On to some more stories. Tens of promising talents throng the premises of TV3 to audition for Mentor reality show. The judges are expected to select the best talents to participate in the show.
Things are right or wrong. I don't care what tries to calm me down.
Budding talents from far and near showed up to be counted. All of them had one common goal: to be selected and qualified to the next stage of the auditioning.
Me and my crew, yeah, we black on top, then can't see we. Float too hard, feed them, then can't sip it. Hello guys, it's your girl Taffy. Yeah, and we are here for Mentor 12 audition. Between me and the judges in there, I got a bit nervous. So they liked my first performance, but the second one was a bit shaky. Yeah, so I'm here on standby with the hope that when I go back inside, I'm going to do better.
The award-winning talent hunt show strives to discover and nurture the creative potential of young music talents and ultimately guide them to achieve their dreams of becoming top music stars.
Alright, I'm K. I'm from Springtex. I came to the audition to showcase my talent, and by the grace of God, I've been able to sail through. It hasn't been easy to be Mentor because I think it's a good platform to exhibit my talent and also show the world what I can do.
By the close of business, judges will be rounding up on who will make up the final shortlist for the popular reality show.
Well, I've seen both good and bad. You know, that's why it's an audition. But I must say, you know, the future is great. And we can also go without applauding TV3 and then the whole Mentor team for keeping this 12 years. Like, this is a 12th edition. And imagine a number of artists like we've seen grow from Mentor day by day. And me sitting here as a judge is also a learning process for me, because you see some people who are vocally good. Some of them have got looks. Some of them, their appearance alone, you know. So for me, it's all right. I can't wait to see the rest, and I'll be happy to see the final people who make it to the competition.
Auditions have already taken place in Tamale, Kumasi and Takrady, with some gifted music talents shortlisted.
Until the first phase of the auditions have come to an end, and so selected talents will be expected to make an appearance for the semi-final stages in the course of the week. That's it for entertainment here on Media Live. My name is Wala Donko. I'll be handing over to Cosby now.
Well, thank you so much for entertainment news. Let's bring you some international news now.
The Nobel Prize in Physiology or Medicine has been awarded to a pair of scientists who developed the technology that led to the mRNA COVID vaccines. Dr. Katalin Kariko and Dr. Drew Weissman will share the prize. The technology was experimental before the pandemic, but has now been given to millions of people around the world. The same mRNA technology is now being researched for other diseases, including cancer. The Nobel Prize Committee says the laureates contributed to the unprecedented rate of vaccine development during one of the greatest threats to human health in modern times. The UN Security Council is expected to vote on a resolution that will see an international force led by Kenya deployed to Haiti to quell a surge in gang violence. The 15-member council is set to develop the framework for and authorize a one-year deployment of the force with a review after 9 months. If approved by the UN, Kenya will deploy 1,000 police officers to Haiti by January next year. The Bahamas, Jamaica, Antigua and Barbuda have said they will take part in the mission. The force will help train Haitian police and rebuild vital infrastructure which has been overrun by criminal gangs. The U.S. has pledged a $100 million to support the mission.
Well, that's our package for you on Midday Live this afternoon, but there's always more news on our website, 3news.com. Please do well to log on. My name is Noble Crosby-Ann, and on behalf of the entire production team, thank you so much for watching the bulletin. Stay with us here on TV3, where the first in news, the best in entertainment. Good afternoon.
This program is rated PG. It contains scenes of brief nudity, mild violence, and strong language. Parental guidance is advised.
Maybe next time, when you're not a downer, you're like an energy vampire. All of the happiness in people, you suck that right out. Like yesterday, because of that beef dish, you got emotional and remembered Mother.
Well, I couldn't help but remember her.
Exactly! If you come with us, something might just suddenly trigger you to remember memories of your mother. I don't want any bad vibes, okay?
I won't bring her up, I swear.
Well, sorry, you're not coming.
Suit yourself. It's not my loss anyway. You're a bunch of snobs.
Look at that! What a sudden change of mood.
To be honest, I'm just following Lenlen's advice. If you don't like me, I won't hang out with you. I don't need you and your friends.
Oh, look, you're emotional again. I'm so glad you're leaving. Ugh, how is it that she brings the worst vibe all the time? Listen to me, Ruben. Those people are practically strangers to us. Well, what if they're not?